Hi guys, Matthew Games here with...
Me.
Who is?
Me.
Yeah, his name's me. M.E. Because he loves Nintendo, so he's an avatar. Okay, so today I'm doing my well sought after, requested by none of you guys, Nintendo versus PlayStation debate. And I'm wondering if the camera can see me from here. I'm just going to move the camera up a little bit just in case. But how this debate's going to work is we're going to have 2 minutes each to talk about my Sony controller. 2 minutes to talk about the topic, about disputing each other. Basically, we talk for 2 minutes and...
Well, I read a paragraph.
Yeah, he wrote all his stuff down. Grabbing my cup. He wrote all his stuff down. Move up a bit. I'm not sure if the camera can see the both of us. Okay. That should be about right. Making sure. This would suck if you couldn't see me the whole bit. So, you can start, and you'll have until 20 to 4.
I'll think about that.
Do it. Okay, so start whenever you want to, and you can ask questions which I can dispute and laugh at. So,
Laugh at.
go on.
Right. Motion intent. Basically. Stop laughing. It's
Go
not
on.
funny.
Go on.
Right. They listen. They
Yeah, like they did to...
You can talk when you're talking. After.
Yeah, like they did to
They
my
listen
customer
to their
service
customer.
complaint.
Nintendo tests the customers. Because it's cheaper than giving us the end product of a console. They give us the part.
Go on.
They give the customers the console, and if they need to change it, if the
Everyone
customers
loved the
don't
Wii
like it,
U.
they change it or they update it. Like
It's like
with
they did for the Wii U.
The Wii had pretty bad motion controls originally, but a couple of months after, they put in a gyroscope inside the remote, which is like 10, 15 quid. Whereas Sony and Microsoft, they just revealed the final console. Guess what? The Xbox had Red Ring of Death.
Xbox are crap.
PS3 had the hardware issue.
What hardware
The-
issue?
The original. Way back.
The fat one.
Yeah, it had a hardware issue, and they thought that updating the software in it would work, but it didn't.
Oh,
Had
yeah.
to replace
They
it.
made the slim. See, PlayStation listen to their customers. Okay, so I'm up now, about to be. You can carry on for as long as you got.
Well, basically, there's no point getting rid of putting a plaster on a broken arm.
Oh, at least you'll stop it from getting
Or if
scratched.
someone rips your arm off, like with the Red Ring of Death or the hardware failure, putting a plaster or updating the system software is not going to work. It's a metaphor.
Okay. I'm waiting for it. Okay, so I'm up. So what you have to say, Nintendo listen to their customers. They really listen well with the Wii U, didn't they? Such a great system, sold 10 million units, huge 32GB hard drive. I mean, you could fit, what, 4 games on that. Absolutely huge. It looks like a piece of crap. Look at it compared to the PS4. It looks like a... I don't even know what... I can't compare it to anything. It's awful. If we talk about Wii U to PS4, PS4 listened to their customers. People said the PS3 controller, which I'm holding right now, was too small. It didn't fit the hands well. Look at the PS4 one. They made it wider. They changed the analog sticks to a much nicer feel. D-pad was changed. Buttons were changed. Touchpad, new start, options and share buttons, new triggers. They changed everything. You said they copy and paste. They virtually remodeled this controller. After they did, they changed it a lot. I've got a PS4 controller downstairs. It looks, they did a great job. They've changed it a lot. They did a good job. But the Wii, compared to the Wii U, changed things. You say, yeah, you say they changed everything, but that's not always a good thing. If you're using a good controller and it looks good and it feels good, if you just keep improving on it each new console, what's so bad about that? I mean, Nintendo are innovative, they're a great company and all, but I just think everything they've ever done, PlayStation have improved on.
It's boring.
Yeah, the NES is so great, the N64 is great, GameCube is superb, N64 is the biggest piece. Oh, I sold that. If I had N64, I could do a PS1 comparison to which has aged better. I would challenge you to that, Final Fantasy VIII to Super Mario 64. We'll see which has aged better. So yeah, that's just a pretty hilarious claim. My time's about to be up. Talk about exclusive. Go on. Go on.
The Wii U isn't the first thing that they didn't sell well. I like the Wii U. I like it.
Yeah, that's why he's
The games are very good. Very good for what they released with it. Zelda, the new one.
What, all 10 games?
Yeah, all of them. It proved to be, it was complicated. It was complicated.
That
It was
wasn't
complicated when it was launched. Same thing, they tested the customers. They didn't like it, and now they've moved on with the Switch. But they tested it for the Wii. They've had failures like the Virtual Boy,
Power Glove,
and the N64 disk drive. I tried the CD.
You didn't even mention the Power Glove.
So that wasn't a failure. Kind of.
Where is it now?
If it was a total failure, if what they'd done was a total failure, they wouldn't be here anymore. They'd be like Sega or Atari. No, they've learnt from that. They've learnt from that, and they can enjoy it and put Easter eggs in new games, like Super Smash Bros. Wii U.
There's
a Virtual Boy at the bottom of the level you can see on a desk.
How kind of them.
It shows they remember and they know what they're doing with the Switch now.
Just because they added a picture of a Virtual Boy in it proves they know what they're doing.
And they know what they're doing. And they put Easter eggs in that because it's fun.
And to look back on their great failures.
Exactly.
Good times.
Yeah.
Anything else?
But no, they learned, and now with the Switch, they've understood what the Wii was great for and the Wii U wasn't great for, and they put it together with the handheld market.
I'm going to
and
talk
it's
about
brilliant.
Switch in a minute.
You're talking about exclusive next.
No, Switch. After what you said, you got a couple of seconds if you want.
A couple of seconds.
Oh, no, you don't need more. The Switch is a glorified tablet. The only good thing about it's a tablet. Look at it. It is horrible. It is not good. It does not look very nice. What would you want it? It's similar to the Wii U, I think. I think it's similar. The only thing is it's portable, especially the tablet screen. The Joy-Con controllers. This guy here was complaining about the PS4 controller being too small. And the Nintendo Switch ones, they're that big and that wide. So they're just superb for, 4-year-olds. But about the Switch as well, it's a $300 Zelda machine. Just buy a Wii U for 130 quid, get Zelda for it, it'll save you a bit of money if you want to play it that bad. Because that's all it is. You're looking at what's coming out soon. The only good games are Sonic, which is being released on them all. But the only big exclusives, Bomberman, crap reviews, Mario, which will probably be good, as usual. Zelda, look good, I'm not denying that. But you're looking at the PS4, we've got Last of Us 2, Uncharted Lost Legacy, I think. New God of War, Crash Bandicoot Trilogy being remastered. PlayStation are doing remasters of everyone's favourite games. Crash Bandicoot, Bioshock, they're doing it for every generation. Final Fantasy 7, you say they don't listen to their customers. Now every person who owns a PS4 probably loved the PS1. A lot of them probably did. So they listen to their customers and they're remastering people's old favourite games which are cherished. They're excellent games. So they do listen to their customers.
It's funny.
They do.
You
know if you want.
You don't? Right. Well, the Virtual Console, Wii U and the Wii, you can get all the old games.
Same with PlayStation.
All of them.
You can get a hell of a lot.
For £3.50.
No, that's wrong actually. That's 5, 8, 10. I've looked at the prices recently. I've looked at them.
10 quid.
That's how great
That's not like... What are they remastering?
Final Fantasy 7.
How much is it?
Well, if you want to buy it being remastered in the case and that, it's about 40 quid. But if you want to buy it on PlayStation Store, it's 10 or 7. It's something around that.
It's going to be more.
It's not on the PlayStation Store.
40 quid.
Okay.
So what is the point of doing it like that? Exactly. Well, anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to 1982.
Yeah.
The video game industry was pretty much dead after Red-T on
I like Atari.
I like Atari. Atari killed everything.
I'm buying one.
But Mario saved it in the NES, in Nintendo.
Mario was brought out on Atari.
Yes, before, and then they brought it out. But PlayStation and Xbox, they wouldn't be here if it weren't for Nintendo. Don't say they would have made consoles
I don't dispute
anyway.
that. I know, I don't dispute that. I do think No, carry on. I'll wait.
And the fact that Nintendo is still here making them is because the people that love them, and they know when to get the attention. With the Switch, they've got like how many? I don't know. They've got the amount of attention they've got. The Xbox Scorpio that's scuttling behind us.
Crap.
Yeah.
But with Sony, I think they actually might have made game consoles anyway. I'm not disputing. Nintendo are a huge company. I like them a lot. I have a lot of Nintendo stuff in my room. I have Mario figures. I love Mario. Zelda looks great. I've never played them. I've got a Wii. You know, I like Nintendo. I like
You had
Nintendo.
Skyward Sword and you got rid of it. You wouldn't even play it. You had everything to play it.
It's got a nunchuck.
Wow, a nunchuck. That's
Biggest piece of crap ever. But I think Sony would have made a console in the end. They've been around for a long time. They made Walkmans and that. They're making electronics. They're making TVs, CD players. Gaming
was dead. It was dead.
There's a chance they could have made a console. I think they might have. I'm not disputing Nintendo's importance. I'm just saying I think they might have made one. But I think Sony are a great company, and they do a lot more. And next, I want to hear you talk about what Nintendo can do aside from play games. What can it do?
Okay, good enough.
Well, tell me about the Switch and the Wii U and how the whopping 32 gigabytes of data is great.
Right, I'll do that in a minute. Hold on. Basically, Sony and Microsoft became desperate. That's the only way to put it. Basically, right, let's start with motion control. The Power Glove.
It's crap.
Yes, it is.
Motion control
But
is crap.
until the Wii, it wasn't, motion controls weren't a thing.
Yeah, because it's
So
rubbish.
we brought it in,
I don't like motion
and
controls.
obviously it was becoming more
I
popular.
like controllers.
So the Wii was becoming more and more popular, and obviously Sony and Microsoft were having a bit of a problem. So didn't they put gyro in the DualShock or something?
Put what?
Like you can move it round.
What are you on about?
Like you can move the controller around, or the PS4 one.
PS4, if you press R3, you can turn it to roll.
Gyro. They put that in after the Wii. Nintendo were the ones that made that.
The thing is, I just want to say quickly,
What?
Nintendo have come up with some great ideas, yes, but everything they've made, PlayStation, Sony, have improved on a bit. Nintendo are innovative. They're a good company, and they've come up with great things.
Right, let me.
No, they improve.
Right. Basically, Nintendo created the Wii Pointer, and then guess what? Sony came out with the Wii Move.
Sorry, I didn't. The Wii Move.
The PlayStation Move.
Where is that? I wonder.
Which was a copy of the Wii Pointer, an exact copy.
Yeah, an Xbox came up with Kinect.
Because they were desperate.
That's very similar.
Xbox came up with the Kinect, which was same as the Sense Bar and the Wii one.
But PlayStation Move, I actually don't think is good. So you know, I would admit Nintendo failed, Sony have failed, PS Vita and PlayStation Move are failures. Yes, I like the PSP. I don't care what people say. I had one when I was about 8. There's some good games with it, some good fun. But I'll happily admit Nintendo are the best for handhelds. I'll happily admit that.
Right, just quickly.
What?
You can take Sony out of Nintendo, yeah? But you can't take Nintendo out of Sony because they would die. They would collapse. The stuff that they copied off Nintendo, they would be dead.
Okay, their controllers are nothing alike.
The N64,
The PlayStation
they
1.
put the analog sticks
The PlayStation
onto
1
it
controller didn't have...
after the N64 came out with the analog stick. They copied
Yeah, but
and
the
stuck them in
N64
the middle.
analog stick is absolutely
Was
horrible.
the first.
I know.
And they
Like I said,
improved on it.
they improved.
First.
They improved.
They copied.
The N60. Let's talk about controllers for a minute. Okay. N64 versus PS1. N64. I brought one. I
The
kept it
original
for 3
PS1.
months.
The
Yeah.
original PS1 without the analog stick.
Yeah, sure. But it is an absolute lug of crap. When you look at a controller and you don't know how to hold it, that's not a good sign. You think you should know how to hold it, you'd think. But same with the Switch one. It looks a bit odd at first, but you know how to hold it. The N64 one, it's bulkier than the Xbox ones, and that's saying something. It's absolutely bulky as it's horrible. It's the shape of an M. Who thought of that?
Mario.
I don't know what the M was supposed to
It
stand
was Mario. It was meant to stand for Mario, actually.
Yeah, sure.
He was.
Yeah, it was a great idea for the one. The PlayStation 1, it's nice looking. It fits in your hand so much better than the N64 one. It feels nice in your hand. It's not huge, but it feels nice in your hand. And the PS1 also uses discs, which was a good improvement. And it uses plastic cases, which are better than the cardboard ones, which get trod down. They can't be replaced. There's a special artwork on them. With the PlayStation 1, you could get a new case easily, but N64 can't be replaced. I mean, the amount of kids that must have tread on them and broke them, there must have been thousands upon thousands.
Right.
Exclusive next.
Basically, copycats. That's stuff that Sony and Microsoft. Like,
They improve on stuff.
they do. But
They do.
1994, PS1 comes out, controller, this one, no analog sticks. 96, N64 comes out with an analog stick. 97, they put the analog.
They made it look a lot nicer and different, and
They
it's
put
not
the
as
analog stick.
hard to move.
And then Nintendo came out with the Rumble Pack. And then guess what Sony did?
I know.
They made the DualShock.
But they put it inside of it.
They
Nintendo
copied
couldn't
them.
do that.
They copied them.
Nintendo couldn't figure out how to put it inside
They
though, so
copied them. So
Sony
no
were
one
clever.
had to buy a new controller. You just slot a cheaper thing in under the controller, which they added for expansion ports. Like you can play Game Boy games on it. You can play Game Boys on.
In PS3 you could play PS1 on, PS4 you play PS1 on.
I wonder where they got the Rumble idea from, where they got the analog stick idea from.
But they improved on it. They improved on it. I know they did.
But they copied
I
it.
know they did.
They copied it.
Technically they did, yes, but they've improved. Everything that Nintendo has done though, PlayStation didn't flat out copy, they improved.
Alright.
They did a flat out copy. Like, if you compare the PlayStation 1 analog stick to the N64 one, they look nothing alike. The N64 one is teeny, stiff, horrible, and slips off your fingers so easily.
Yes, after
That
20
is
years.
nice.
After 20 years.
I doubt they were great when they first come out either. I can tell by looking at them.
Right, looking
I want
at
to
them,
talk about
that's great.
exclusives in a bit. But I do think this is horrible, this unchuck. The fact, that's the main reason I didn't like Mario Galaxy. You've got to hold this in one hand, and that in the other. Yeah, sure.
Easy.
They could have put an analog stick on the Wii controller. They could have found a way.
No, they
could have. PlayStation and Microsoft have all their games on one controller. Why can't Nintendo? It is a horrible idea to be holding all your games like that with the awful control system that is Mario Galaxy.
When did the PS3 come out?
2007, I think.
When did the Wii come out?
2005.
There you go. Right, Nintendo,
Yes.
they made wireless controllers. They made it back in the NES days, actually.
No, I did it with GameCube.
No, they did
That
it with
was
the
a
NES, the NES Satellite. Yeah, basically, they copied the wireless controllers as well. They copied the motion controls. Sony are brilliant at copying things, aren't they? They're plagiarists. Right, portable consoles, Nintendo wins. End of.
Yeah, that's true.
PSP,
I
PS
agree with
Vita. PSP sold 82.
I like the PSP though, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fun. There's some fun games on it. You could do some cool stuff with it. It plays movies as well, which is a cool little feature. You know, you could buy these little UMD videos for pretty cheap, and you see them everywhere now. And it's a good little feature. And they're fun to play on. But Nintendo weren't doing that.
PS Vita.
So they did something else now.
PS Vita.
Yeah, that ain't great. I'll admit that.
4 million. 4 million. Let's not go into the Pocket Station.
I know,
Let's leave the Pocket
I'll
Station
admit,
alone.
yeah, I'll admit
That's
Nintendo
terrible.
about the handheld, yeah, the virtual
I
was
laugh
great.
every time I hear that name, Pocket Station. It's stupid.
Yeah, and the Wii U is a great name. I mean, such a
Okay.
it's genius. You know, PS1, PS2, PS3,
We've moved on
PS4,
from the Wii U.
Wii U.
We've moved on from that. Right,
You haven't. You said you still love it.
I do.
Go on.
But Nintendo have 62 Game & Watch games. They sold 43 million. Back when the video game industry was in debt in whatever. So the Game
And I
Boy,
appreciate them resurrecting it for Sony to dominate it.
and then the Game Boy line came in. So it sold 200 million copies. 200
Game Boys are
units.
bricks.
No, the entire line.
Should have brought
sold
it.
200 million. The
That's
DS
free
line-
consoles. You can't talk about that. That's free consoles.
The DS line sold 154 million, and the 3DS and the 2DS They're selling 60 million and rising as we speak.
Same with PlayStation.
Basically,
That's selling loads
Nintendo wins the handheld.
I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I admitted that. PlayStation are trying to dominate handhelds because nobody
Because
likes
they
handhelds. They could.
They
Could if they wanted to.
can't.
They could.
They tried with the PS Vita.
Have you seen all the things the PS4 can do? They could make a good handheld if they wanted to. The PS4 can record your gameplay incredibly easy. It makes it look brilliant. I shared a video to YouTube, like 2 minutes, perfectly. It's a lot of the graphics. If we're talking about hardware as well, PlayStation, if you go into the hardware, the graphics card is incredible. They use GDDR5 and Xbox One uses DDR3. The guy I was watching on YouTube didn't even mention Wii U. That should just show it's not even in the same category of them. If you're talking with people, you say, which console do you think's better? How many kids do you hear say, I have a Wii U, I have an Xbox One, I have a PS4? That's what you hear. Because better games, more games to play, nicer to look at, better controller. And, you know, if you get the Wii U, what great games have you got? Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
They're testing the customers. It's my turn.
The 10th Mario Party.
They're testing the customers. Anyway, lack of mascot. Sony. What was it that Microsoft had? Meister Chef. Chief. Master Chief. That's terrible.
Master Chief's cool.
Sony don't have a mascot. Really.
Or does it need one? If anything, it makes it a gimmick. It makes it a stupid gimmick. If anything, it proves they're serious about their gaming and their customers.
Yes.
And they don't just do games, they do TVs.
It's my turn.
Lack of mascot, yeah.
They're bringing back Crash Bandicoot, yeah?
Yeah?
Why? Why? They must be really desperate.
No, because people love the game. And they're remastering the stuff people loved.
Why?
They're doing Assassin's Creed as well, they've done everything.
Well, that's not a mascot. Well, they've also got rid of Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, whatever.
Clank.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank
They've thrown them all down the drain, pretty much. They gave up because they couldn't be bothered. At least Nintendo
They've done Ratchet and Clank
have
PS1.
Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Star Fox, Donkey Kong. I'm not going to go into the details.
PlayStation has Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts.
No, mascot. I'm not going to go into details.
We were talking about games then. Metroid. Is Metroid a mascot? Not really.
Samus in it. Yeah. Samus. Right. It shows that Nintendo know what they're doing with the mascots.
Why do you need a mascot? There is no logical reason why a company should need a mascot. Do you see all these big companies in the world have mascots? Do Samsung have one?
So you can sell your games. It's a main franchise of games. Sony don't have that. Sony just make consoles.
No, they don't. They do TVs. They do
yes, but
MP3s.
Games consoles. They only do games consoles in that category. The TVs are coming to games and games consoles. They don't make games.
Sony don't make games.
No,
I know they don't develop them.
Exactly. They don't.
They do a lot. They do loads of other stuff. I don't blame them. Nintendo are great at developing their own games. The thing is, for each Nintendo console, the only good Nintendo games, this is my opinion, and I think it's pretty fair, is mostly the ones that Nintendo develop themselves. Yeah. Donkey Kong, Mario, Zelda, all of them, they're mostly the best games. The thing is, Nintendo, I've got a Wii, I brought some games for it. The thing is, when you look at every Nintendo console through history, and I've been adding some to my wish list, and I've been looking through, you will very rarely find any more than 30 great games.
There's 30
with PlayStation.
For the Wii.
Yeah, like I said, you won't find any more than 30 great games.
I found 100.
DJ Hero 2,
yeah.
That's a great game. That is absolutely priceless. That's the funniest thing I've heard all day. Super Meat Boy. Guitar Hero, you don't even like Guitar Hero or the golf one. FIFA 9. That is awful.
No, it's
Destiny Epic Mickey.
I was in a rush.
Def Jam Rockstar. Why do you play these? This is hilarious. And why is Xenoblade Chronicles not on here?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Pandora's Tower.
Right, let's move on.
I can think of a lot more better ones than them.
Right. I don't know whether you want to put this...
Do you forget WarioWare?
That is what would happen if Sony had their own console.
Oh, come on.
Go and put that up to the camera or something. That banana one in the middle. Go and look.
How do you know that?
Google it.
Did you time travel and
That's
see what it
what
looked like?
happens when they don't copy.
Well,
That is what happens.
it looks better than the N64.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does. At least you know how to hold it correctly.
It's like the moon with buttons on.
So,
Right, let's move on.
move, gotta move straight like a banana.
We're getting this straight. Right, internet services
Going to
and charges.
I barely talked for a while.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's things PlayStation could
Get on
do
with
as
it,
well.
get on with it.
Internet browser is excellent. PlayStation 4 is even better. YouTube and Netflix, yes, so Nintendo can do that. 1080p, don't think so.
Yes, they can. They do it.
On the Wii.
1080p.
On the
On the
Wii.
Wii.
Let's compare Wii to PS3. It's 1080p.
They don't need 1080p. If they have good games, they don't.
But if you're watching Netflix on the Wii, it's
Wii
not
doesn't
full
need that.
80. It's awful. I went
because
to
it makes
my
it the end.
uncle's house and they had Netflix on their Wii. I was thinking, you poor people, you have a PS3 upstairs, but you're not using it for it. It is absolutely atrocious. And I want to talk about exclusives in a bit. And what are the best exclusives? I know they have some good ones. Just say what are the best exclusives. Give me your 5 best.
Right. Zelda Skyward Sword.
I've got stuff to
Twilight
compare them to.
Princess.
No, not games, franchises.
Oh, Zelda, Mario, Metroid, Star Fox, and Donkey Kong.
No Smash Bros, no Kirby, no Pikmin, no Metroid.
Yeah, Smash Bros.
What you put Metroid? Okay, Zelda, Final Fantasy. I think it's better. I think it's more enjoyable. I think the graphics are better. I've got Final Fantasy 8 here. I think the graphics are better. I think it's more enjoyable. It's more in depth. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And look, it's a disc, not a cartridge, which is nice.
Cartridge is better. They hold more.
That's
Cartridges are the future.
I want a quote on that. That's going to be
Honestly.
my new picture for YouTube channel. You like that with cartridges in the
Fit
future.
more on a cartridge that big than you can get on one of these CDs.
Why did Nintendo do
Yes.
that?
Because it wasn't good back then. With the Game Boy, you can hold
Yeah, but this was
1.5 megabytes.
1990. This was around the same time as the N64. Anyway,
You can't
Mary,
put a
if we're
disc in
comparing,
handheld.
if we're
Can
comparing,
you can't put a
you
disc
probably
in
could
it.
actually.
Well, there's no point.
PSP
is there?
nearly tried.
Well, then,
UMDs.
I'm glad they
Not
didn't.
far
'Cause
off.
It would have gone worse. It would have been worse.
Worse.
You're not going to
Great.
carry around massive discs, are you? In your pocket.
No, but if you're going to carry on cartridges in your pocket, they're going to get damaged.
That's why you put them in a bag or a
Yeah,
case
let's talk
or
about this. Mario, yes, there isn't much you can compare it to that. Mario is great and unique, and I love Mario, great. Kirby, if you talk about Kirby, Little Big Planet is great. That's for the PlayStation. It's very similar style,
Big Planet's on Wii, isn't
platformer.
it?
No,
Yeah. That's,
PlayStation exclusive.
yeah.
I don't think Microsoft have it either.
Do
But
you remember one of them? I don't know.
I think they did. But anyway, and other great PS3 exclusives. One which, well, they're really similar to Zelda, but it's Adventure, Uncharted, absolutely superb games. Last of Us, which is my favourite game of all time. If you've not played this, it's one of the best games you will ever play. I love this game.
Yes, if you're over 18.
You don't have to be over 18 to play it. You watch Walking Dead,
Yeah.
you shouldn't watch it. You watch Big Bang Theory, it's 15, you shouldn't watch it. There's so many things that older people watch.
But I go to a group or something, or whatever. I'm not going to detail. But there's 6-year-olds that play that.
Yeah, that's sad. It should be over 6. I think
And it's not. It's like...
my 7-year-old cousin played it also. But 13, I said 13. To be honest, that's when I played it, I think. And it's absolutely superb game. If you're mature enough, that is. Because it is excellent. Kingdom Hearts as well. That is Disney compared. It's manga, Disney, and PlayStation. That is just a superb combination. But one of the things I also want to say is, if you own a PS3, you don't feel like you need anything else. In a way, you don't feel like you'd be desperate for something else. Yes, there's these great new next-gen consoles, but you don't feel like you'd be desperate, as there's a great catalogue of games. There's many things it can do.
Anything
The
you
Wii.
can't do.
But you compare it to the Wii. If you had a Wii,
The W's for
if
games.
you had,
It's
I know,
not for YouTube or
I know
internet.
that. I would say if you have a Wii, there's not enough games to keep
It's
you going.
got 1,200 games that are all like £3.
No, they're not. Go to CEX, go to Amazon, go to eBay. Most of them, you mean the really
cheap.
You mean the really awful ones like Band Hero, Guitar Hero 5, Super Mario Galaxy, Kirby, Zelda. How's Kirby on this list? Rock Band. What's the rest of them?
Down there, you threw it away for some reason. No, it's
Where'd
here.
it go? That's yeah.
There we go.
Metroid Ent Chief, well, it's a couple of quid. Donkey Kong Ent, Mario Ent, Star Wars, Last Tories 40 quid, Zelda, Paper Mario, Metroid Mario, these are all 3 quid. About 25 of these 30 are expensive and over the price of at least £5. I'm really surprised Wii Sports isn't on here, by the way. How did you forget that? I'm just wondering. That is great.
Give me a moment. Right, you've ranted on for about 10 minutes. Or 5. So, shh. Shush. Internet services and charges. I mean like playing on servers. So, Sony and Microsoft, they have extortionate prices. Sony...
Nintendo Switch are priced in at the same price the PS4 was originally priced about. How's that an extortionate price?
No,
Nintendo Switch are charging £60 for Mario Odyssey.
You're not listening, I'm talking about online services. For playing on servers.
But Nintendo Switch are going to charge.
Yes, 15 quid a year.
A year.
Sony,
That's good, to be fair.
For PS Plus, whatever. Microsoft, 35 quid.
Yeah.
I think Live a year.
That is good. I'll admit that.
Quid.
I'll admit that. That's good.
Just so they can run the stuff.
But you know why that is? Think about it though. How many great online games there for Nintendo? I mean, PlayStation, Xbox. Sorry, I've got a bit cold still. PlayStation, Xbox, Halo, Call of Duty, there's GTA, games people like playing online. Nintendo, Mario Kart. that's it. Splatoon.
It's a brilliant game.
Shoot people with paint guns. Go play paintball. It's the same thing.
COD.
That's
more
correct.
enjoyable than COD.
Don't think so.
You can play more. It's not like you just shoot and that's it. It's strategy.
Yeah, Call of Duty has stealth too, and it's fun.
Call of Duty is shoot to kill.
No, not on the story.
No, not the story, but the online mode is shoot to kill. This is strategy. Defend your.
Not if you like to go up and get them with knives.
No, but the chance is, yeah, it's better.
How long has this been going on, by the way? Carry on talking if you want.
It's fine.
33 minutes, yeah. I need to do. We'll do part 2. Okay? Thanks for watching. Part 2 will be up in an hour or so. Bye, guys.